Hey guys, Pre-Market9s here, and I did not expect to be making this video today at all. I have not sat still all morning. I took like a 3-hour walk because last night or this morning, depending on the time zone that you're in, a ton of information and data got dumped online because the review copies of the games of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are now out. So naturally, the leaks are upon us, guys, and normally I wouldn't make a video about this, but a lot of it pertains to us as shiny hunters, and once again, it is pretty much nothing but good things. Now, I am gonna say right away that amongst this information, there are new Pokemon and there are new shinies that have leaked. So I'm gonna be showing them and talking about them and giving my opinions and things like that. So if you don't want to see those things, if you don't want to be spoiled, then this might not be the video for you. But if you like seeing the leaks and it kind of gets you more excited to play the games, which is how it is for me, then continue watching, because this might actually help you decide what Pokemon you're going to hunt when the games do finally come out. And with that being said, I'm just gonna start talking about some of the exciting things that we found out last night. So first things first, the Pokemon that are shiny locked and the Pokemon that are not shiny locked. So the ones that are shiny locked and you cannot hunt in these games are as followed. I have the list right here. So Galio and Lunala, that goes without saying, they are the mascots of the game. Same goes for Cosmog and Cosmoem. They are part of that evolutionary line, so it just makes sense that those wouldn't be huntable. Necrozma, once again, he's a huge part of the main story, so obviously it makes sense as well that he can't be hunted. Then further than that, this is kind of a bummer. The Tapu Guardians, Tapu Koko, all of them, they are not shiny huntable in these games either, which is a really big bummer for me because Tapu Fini is gorgeous. And then further than that, the Totem Pokemon are not able to be hunted, so the bigger Pokemon that you'd be able to get in these games, you can't get them shiny. Ash Hat Pikachu, which is a gift in this game, is also shiny locked, so you can't get that shiny. And then finally, even though we all wanted it and hoped for it, Shiny Zygarde is once again not huntable in these games. I said this in the previous video, he's also part of the story, I'm sure, so it makes sense, but it's also really disappointing. But other than that, on the plus side, anything that I didn't mention just now, you can hunt them and get them shiny, which is completely insane. All of the legendaries, including Xerneas and Yveltal, which is like, oh my god, I can't even imagine being able to hunt them, and we're going to be able to in these games. And yes, I am happy to tell you the news we have all been waiting for. The Ultra Beasts are huntable in these games, which is just like the biggest sigh of relief. I can't even believe it. Probably the biggest and best news we've gotten since anything has been revealed about these games is the fact that we can now hunt these Ultra Beasts in these games. I wanted to hunt these things so bad in Sun and Moon, but it wasn't in the cards for us, and that was a huge disappointment. But now to know that we finally can go after them is just like, oh my gosh, guys, it's a dream come true. I can't speak for all shiny hunters, but for me, this is probably the biggest and best news, the biggest sigh of relief that I've had since anything has been leaked or revealed about these games. Now that all of that is out of the way, there are some new shinies that were revealed. Actually, not some. All of the new Pokemon and their shinies have been revealed. There are a few brand new Ultra Beasts, a new legendary, and now we're gonna go over their shinies. But first things first, we're gonna take a look at Ultra Solgaleo and Ultra Lunala, which I did do shiny speculations for, which I'll show right now. This is what I decided they probably would be. I'm not gonna lie, when I make these shiny speculations, it's just for fun and I never expect to actually get them right. But I'm happy to say these are the shiny forms, and even though it's a few shades off, it's pretty freaking close. I don't think they're the best shinies they could have been, but I am pretty proud that I was really close to what they actually are. On the other side of it, it kind of makes sense that these are the shinies. Like I said in the last video, if you just paid attention to the shinies of the legendaries in the last game, you can kind of figure out what they were going to be in this game. They're not the best, they're not the worst, but this is what we got, and it doesn't really matter because you can't hunt them. So that's that. Now, following these two, there is a brand new form of another legendary that's also probably one of the most important aspects of the game, and that is none other than Ultra Necrozma. Now, I'm looking at it right now on my laptop. Sorry if the images aren't like the most beautiful thing in the world. Like I said before, these are leaked from the game's data files, so there's no official artwork or anything like that. So this is what we're working with. It's going to be the same for the rest of the images following this, but from what I can see, this Pokemon is pretty freaking brilliant. He looks amazing. He actually gives that aura of, holy crap, that's a freaking legendary. He looks legendary to me, and I also really like the color palettes. It doesn't really make too much sense in regards to Necrozma itself, but as the Pokemon's regular color form and the shiny, I think they're pretty awesome. I will tell you this though, now that Game Freak is kind of doing their own thing with the shinies instead of just doing the palette swap, we're seeing way more black shinies, we're seeing way more darker shinies, and then way more white and lighter shinies, which we'll also talk about later on for another Yubi that was revealed. I'm not going to complain about it. Yeah, it kind of lessens the value of the awesome white and black shinies from previous generations, it still looks amazing, it looks great, and so I'm really bummed out that we can't hunt this thing. And now before we get into all of the Ultra Beasts and their shiny forms, there was a brand new mythical Pokemon that was revealed, which I didn't expect at all, but I couldn't be happier. This thing is gorgeous. Its name is Zara Aura. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right at all. Probably not, because it doesn't sound very good, but it definitely looks good. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. When I first saw it, I thought that the original image was the shiny form. What I'm showing you right now, this is its normal form. This is just the normal colors. It looks super shiny to me, so I love it. Also bummed out that we probably won't be able to even get this in game, nonetheless hunt it, but definitely an amazing addition to the roster. I love this Pokemon. It's kind of got almost like a Digimon feel. I hate saying that, but it definitely does, but I'm not going to complain because I like the way it looks. This is kind of the designs that I like, so a little humanoid, but there's nothing wrong with that. And then after this, here is the image of the shiny form. Like I said before, Game Freak is going hard with the white shinies. It's got an all white coat. Digging the teal color in between. That looks amazing. And then the yellow is a nice contrast to the rest of it. So definitely a really great shiny. A gorgeous Pokemon in general. Probably one of my favorites that have been revealed. Maybe one of my favorites of Generation 7 now. Not too much else to say about this thing. A lot of people are bummed out that it's just pure electric type. I, for one, am kind of a fan of that. But a lot of people thought that it should have been maybe electric fighting or something like that, but you know, would really love an in-game event, would love even more to be able to hunt that event, but not gonna be too disappointed or surprised if it's nowhere near these games. Moving on to Ultra Beast, the first one we're gonna go over is the shiny form of UB Assembly. So this guy's official name is Stakataka, which is like so freaking awesome. I love that name so much. And then the shiny, it's a little lackluster in my opinion. Probably not the shiny I would make it, but maybe one I would expect from them. It's kind of when in doubt, gold it out. It does keep the blue on it, which doesn't look bad. Blue and gold has a nice little contrast, but at the end of the day, not the best shiny I've ever seen. Also not the worst. I think I'm a little bit blinded by the fact that we can hunt it, so like I don't care what they look like, I'm probably gonna try and get them all. The next shiny we're gonna talk about is UB Burst, and let me tell you guys, this thing is actually completely amazing. It's pretty freaking stunning. Take a look at it here for yourself. You guys can be the judge. I'm digging the dark blue. Not really a color that we see on too many shinies at all, and the Necrozma's kind of working the same type of deal. Other than that, you don't really see dark blue too often, so that looks great. And then the rest of the body kind of keeps its multicolors, so it basically just goes white to dark blue. I didn't even notice that before. Everything else pretty much stays the same. That's a really interesting choice. I love that. That's one of the coolest things about Game Freak being able to make their own designs for shinies now, is they're being very selective in what they do. Some of the colors just stay the same, and for real, there's nothing wrong with that. And also, in case you didn't see it somewhere else, UB Burst's new name is oh my gosh, I can't freaking pronounce it. Blacephalon? Oh my gosh, what the heck? Roast me all you want for the pronunciation of that. I don't care. I'm gonna call it UB Burst. And now let's move on to the final one, UB Adhesive, which is a Pokemon that I really loved when it was revealed, but now we found out it not only got its shiny revealed, but it also has an evolution, which I believe is the only Ultra Beast to evolve, which is pretty interesting. I'm not so keen on the evolution, but we'll showcase it later. But here's UB Adhesive, and here is its shiny form. So to my standards, I'm looking at it right here. This thing is completely gorgeous. The purple goes to basically a white. Once again, Game Freak, I see what you're doing. And then it goes from pink to like a goldish yellow, which I think looks great. It's a perfect contrast from the original Pokemon. When you do hunt this thing, it's gonna stand out so easily that it's gonna be no mistake when you find the shiny one. Now, don't hold me to it, but I'm pretty positive that I read that this is a gift Pokemon. You get it from one of the evil teams or something like that, so you will be soft resetting it definitely, and it's not an encountered hunt. So I'm pretty sure there's no sparkles right away, but even then, it's definitely a hunt. Probably my most anticipated UB hunt that there is right now. This thing looks gorgeous. And then another really great thing about it is the name that it was given. It sounds like you're trying to say purple with like a northern accent, and it's Poiple. It's just Poiple. I don't know, I feel like they got super lazy on this. The developers were naming the UBs and they said, well, what do we call the Poiple one? And they all just kind of like stopped and looked at each other like, let's call it Poiple. Regardless, I don't freaking care. It is a great name. It's a great Pokemon, so I'm completely in love with this. And last but not least, we have the evolution of Poiple, which is called Naganadel, which, if I'm pronouncing that right, doesn't quite roll off the tongue as easily, but you know, that kind of matches its look, because I don't really think this is the most gorgeous Pokemon either. I'll be honest, right off the bat, I am not a huge fan of this Pokemon at all. I don't really care for its shiny too much, and I don't really care for the design in general. Probably because I really liked UB Adhesive when it was announced, so to see that it evolves and it doesn't really stay as cute and awesome as it was, is kind of a bummer, but at the same time, it's still interesting to see it evolves. I just wish it didn't really have this design. I also kind of wish that the shiny changes stayed the same because I think the colors here clash a little bit, but it does look like a bee, and if it's supposed to look like a bee, like, good job, it looks like that. But yeah, not my favorite, probably my least favorite UB to date, which is really interesting because UB adhesive is probably one of my favorites, so it's a weird contrast there. Maybe I'm alone in my distaste for this. Maybe you do like it, maybe you're excited about it. So if that's the case, then great. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for this edition of my videos. I hope you enjoyed this little shiny update. I'm super pumped for these games. I'm super excited to finally hunt the Ultra Beast. I'm sure most of you guys are too. If you are, please give this video a thumbs up. Also, I might do another video talking about some of the amazing updates to routes in this game, because in Sun and Moon, there were some Pokemon that I really wanted to hunt, but they didn't have a high enough percentage to appear and things like that. And so now some of the routes have been updated. Just to name a couple, Noivern has like a 40% chance of appearing in a route, which is insane. Noivern, why is that in the wild? And then Delmise has a 35% chance, which completely blows away its 10% chance in like shaking bubble spots or something like that in the past. So it's really exciting. If you want to see a video of me just talking about some of the awesome routes to hunt in these games, then also leave that in the comments and thumbs up the video for that, so I know that that's something you guys are interested in. And also, in regards to shiny hunting the starters, the time limit for the soft resets have been revealed. It's both good news and bad news. They're not as long as the original Sun and Moon starter hunts, which were like 3 minutes plus some. They were completely insane. I don't know how most of us did that. But now they're about 2 minutes and 5 seconds, give or take 30 seconds, depending on how hard you're going, which, I mean, they're faster than the originals, but they're still pretty long. So if you go for it, that's up to you. I'm still deciding if I am, but I just thought I'd give you that bit of information so you can decide now. But that's everything I have to share with you guys. Once again, thank you so much for watching. More videos are coming very soon, but until next time, this is Supreme Arcanine signing out. See you guys later.